Yo, what's popping, guys, and welcome back, or not welcome back, this is a welcome to a Scratch tutorial. Now, this is not going to be the start of a new tutorial series, it's just going to be a basic tutorial on just how to do a little thing that you could add to your game. Today, I want to cover some ideas for weapons for your games. If you have, like, this is mainly going to be top-down, I'm going to say this right now. Top-down, not side-scrolling, not 3D, top-down weapon design. So I have a few ones, mainly projectiles. I'm not gonna say the specific word because, you know, YouTube. But I'm just gonna call this weapons tutorial. Just like that. And now let's go ahead and cover some basic weapon ideas. So it's been past like 30 seconds, so I can say it now. So I'm just gonna name this weapons. And let's start with a basic thing. So actually, let me make player first. So I'm going to create a basic player with basic up, down, left, right movement. If you want to know how to set that up, I'll link a basic movement tutorial in the description below. So I'm going to get that player coded, and then once I'm done, we'll be back. Okay, so if you take a quick look, you see I have a script here. If you don't feel like going to the video in the description, you can go ahead and look at what I have here. This is movement in all four directions, along with wall collision. So if we just take a look at what we have, you can see when you start, WSD moves our player, and we can't go through walls. Super basic stuff. Now we can actually get to what you came here for, and that's some weapon designs. So let's get into that. So I'm going to start by making a new sprite, and we're going to call it weapons. And we'll start by designing the first kind of weapon. I'm going to do some very, very basic things. So let's have maybe some dark here. And I'll make the first one maybe just a pistol. Super, super basic pistol. And we will call this costume pistol. That is very important, to call the costume whatever you want that to be, okay? Awesome. So let's say we want to make a pistol. Let's say we want to make a... Again, you could add like modifications, like maybe a revolver takes longer to shoot. Maybe this is... So we'll call this a shotgun. Oh my goodness, beautiful. I love it. Again, art's not perfect on my end. You'd obviously spend more time on your art. I want a bunch of different like sorts of ideas. We'll do, I don't know, bouncer. Who knows? Maybe the bouncer kind of looks like... Yeah, look at him. That looks awful. I don't care, though. Okay, right there we got the bouncer. I'm actually going to kind of shrink him down just a little bit because it's a bit ridiculous. I got a bouncer. Maybe we want to add like a machine gun, but the difference between this and just like a pistol that shoots really fast is maybe it has like some spray. So maybe it doesn't shoot perfectly where you shot, like you'll shoot and it kind of goes in a few different directions. So maybe that's a thing that you want. Probably the most classic gun you've ever heard of, the AK-47. Let's have one called like the Blade. That's what this will be called. This is very inspired by a weapon from the new game I'm working on. Well, actually, it is the weapon from the new game I'm working on. Exactly. Even the art's pretty much the same. And since it's literally from my game, I'm just gonna call it the same thing. I'm calling it a Chakram. Look at that. Here are 5 weapon ideas: pistol, shotgun, bouncer, AK-47, Chakram, and they're all going to have their own different things. They're not all going to be like the same sort of system. They're all going to have something a little bit different that you can use and maybe modify and add to your games. Okay? So let's start. What I'm going to do, first of all, is grab our player. I'm going to copy him. I'm going to bring it to weapons. I'm going to go to pistol, and I'm going to place him down, right? I'll put him at the back, and then we're going to decide where we're going to want these weapons. I'm just going to be a basic guy and put him in front. For example, like I want the pistol in front of the player. By the way, regardless of whatever you're making, you need to make sure that he starts pointing in a 90-degree angle. So if these are his eyes, it'll always be this way. Never make him pointing down, never make him pointing up. Always to the side, okay? Always as he's pointing to your right. That's what you're going to want, this side. Very important. Okay. There you go. Just set up where you want him in accordance to the player. Obviously, that means the player is going to have to be centered, so make sure you do that. After you have that set up, we can actually start designing the stuff. So we're going to do a when green flag clicked. Again, you'd implement this where it's needed. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to have it set up a forever loop. Forever, we're going to make a variable, or I'm just going to rename this one, and we're going to call it current weapon. Okay? This is going to set what your current weapon is. So when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to start it off by set current weapon to pistol. And then what we're going to set up is we're going to run some if statements. If else. Put an equal sign inside of your if else. Make this last part the name of your first weapon, pistol in our case, and then add current weapon to this side. So if current weapon equals pistol, we will set our costume to pistol. We'll duplicate this. If it equals shotgun, we will set it to shotgun. You get where we're going here. Okay, so that's one script in and of itself. Okay, fairly basic. But now you realize that it's not actually following our player. How do we make it do that? I'm going to duplicate what we have here and take all this stuff out. So just green flag clicked forever loop. And then we are going to do a forever. We're going to have it go to player. Go to player. Okay. And then we're going to have it point towards mouse pointer. In player, I just want to add point towards mouse pointer inside of the player's forever loop. So now, boom. Now that it's done that, it should be set up in the right area. As long as you've set up inside the costume where you want it in accordance to your player, like we did, you should realize that when you start your game, there you go. Your pistol's there, and it's in front of the player. And it works just fine. You're going to realize that little bit of lag if you see it. Can you see it a little bit? Don't even worry about that. Sometimes it does that, sometimes it doesn't. It's not super important. But yeah, there you go. Now you have your guns to be able to follow your player. And yes, that'll be for each individual one. I'm also going to have this set to back. Go to back layer. And the reason for that being is because if we are playing and I set it to Chakram, which is on my player if you remember, I want it to be beneath him, so it looks like he's holding it. See, look at that. There you go. He's holding a little Chakram. Awesome. Maybe I should show you which direction the player is facing in his sprite. There. That's what direction he's facing. He's facing this way. Yeah. See how he looks like he's holding it and it's facing that direction? Yeah, see? Look, now it's not doing that weird lag thing anymore. So it's all perfect. So, how do we actually set up you know, the weapon part of it? That's very easy. We're going to make a new costume, or a new sprite. We're going to call this bullet, right? And then you're going to design a bullet. Awesome. So, now that we have that, we can go ahead and begin setting up a script. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you can see a little bit better. So, when the green flag clicked, we're going to have it hide. And we're going to start working with some clones now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a little system to be able to detect when you're allowed to shoot, because obviously we're going to want a cooldown. For example, maybe it shoots once every second or something like that. So we're going to put a forever loop underneath this, and we're going to grab an if, and then here's where we're going to check our current weapon. So if our current weapon happens to be pistol, what we're going to do is we're going to start setting up our shoot time. So what we're going to do is, for example, let's say you want to shoot let's say we want our pistol to shoot once every second. Okay? So we'll set it with a 0.5. And don't worry, I know that's not a full second. We're going to come back to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait a 0.5, and then we're going to grab a wait until. And now I'm going to set up a system for how I'm going to shoot. I'm going to do when your mouse is down, meaning when you click, that this is detecting a click, by the way. That's what mouse down is. So when your mouse is down. So mouse down, that's what my shoot will be. You can make that space, whatever you want. You could in theory just do mouse down or space. So like boom, now both keys can do it, space or clicking can make it shoot. Then what we are going to do, create a clone of myself, or bullet, creating a clone of a bullet. And now we are going to wait another 0.5 seconds. And that is our 1 second. 0.5 plus 0.5, 1 second. I know what you're thinking. Well, DkU, it says 0.5 seconds and then it shoots. And then you just wait another 0.5 seconds. Trust me, okay? Yeah, it has to go through both of these. So it eventually, after the first shot, would be 0.5, 0.5, 1 second. It'd be 0.5 of a second, 0.5 of a second, and then you're allowed to shoot again. Get it? It's just this literally the first time when you first start it will you have to wait 0.5 seconds. We have to set up what happens when he starts as a clone. When I start as a clone, what we will do is check what your weapon is again. So if current weapon is pistol, what we will do is we will have it go to, we want it to go to weapon. What we're going to want it to do from there is once it goes to our weapon, we're going to have it point towards our mouse pointer, because that will be our aiming. Our mouse will be our aiming, right? Once it points towards the mouse pointer, it will show. We'll have it go to the back layer, just so it's not on top of our player. I should put that beforehand. And then what we will have it do is we'll take a repeat until. Now you're going to see why I actually added walls here when you didn't think I might not have needed to. We're going to repeat until. We're going to come into operators and grab an OR. Then we're going to come into sensing, and we'll grab a touching color. And I'll make that the color of the wall, maybe. And again, you could make walls a separate sprite and then make it if touching in here and then touching wall. Or I'll do touching edge. So if it's touching the wall or touching the edge, right? If the bullet is touching the wall or touching the edge, we will repeat moving 10 steps. And then after all of that, we will delete this clone. Okay? So what this does is when it starts, it will give us a cooldown. When you click or press space, you will create a clone of yourself, meaning creating a clone of the bullet. Then when the bullet fires, it checks what weapon you have. If it is a pistol, it'll go to the middle of your player, point towards where your mouse is, go to the back layer, it'll then show itself. And then until it touches the color red or the edge of the screen, it will move 10 steps in that direction. And then once it does touch the color red or the edge of the screen, it will delete itself. Let's take a look at that and see how it looks. So we're looking here, and if I press click, it shoots a little bullet. And if I hold down, it shoots at the maximum speed of 1 second. And if I shoot at the wall, it disappears when it hits the wall. Very, very nice. So now you might see that's going in front of our gun. That's pretty easy. So in weapon, maybe we just wanted to go to back layer just when it starts. For our weapon, that should fix that. Yep, there we go. Shooting out of our gun now. Very, very nice. Bam. That's a basic weapon, right? You don't want basic weapons. See, now, obviously, you could do a bunch of other things, right? Like, maybe you want a different kind of AK-47, or maybe just, like, a faster pistol. Maybe you want, like, a machine pistol. So you'd set up a machine pistol, and you'd copy and paste that into here. And then, what you do is in your bullet, you could just make it, copy this, for example. Type, like, machine pistol, maybe. I don't know how you spell it. And then make it, like, 0.1. 0.1, just add like a little modification to the machine pistol, right? Then when we start, we could just do like and bring out current weapon, make it machine pistol. Fine, hold up. I just really want this example. Machine pistol. Just set the pistol. Huh. Hold up. Oh, right, guys, I'm stupid. Guys, I'm stupid. And then you just copy this and write machine pistol in there when you start your game and you set to a machine pistol using the same thing. Now, boom, look at that. It shoots way faster. And you can just do that for a bunch of different kinds of weapons and stuff like that. Just a bunch of stuff like that. Okay, so there you go. There you have a pistol. Now, what did we have next on our agenda? A shotgun. Yes. Okay. If our current weapon is shotgun, right? All this stuff stays the same, but the only difference is we're going to have a new variable, and we're going to call it shotgun direction, or maybe just bullet direction, because we're going to use this again, and we're going to make it for this sprite only. Make sure you set it for this sprite only, by the way. And then what we're going to do is right off the bat, this create clone thing isn't going to do it, because that'll only create one clone. So I'm going to have it create 5. So we can do that by setting this up, and in this repeat, putting a 5, and it'll repeat itself 5 times. Same thing works there. It just creates 5 clones. So right here, we're going to set bullet direction to 1. Or we're going to set bullet direction to 0, actually. That goes in there. There we go. So it changes bullet direction by 1 and then creates a clone of itself. So if it's a shotgun, what we'll do is we're going to take this out for the time being. And we're going to grab another if and put it inside of the shotgun. So if current weapon shotgun, we're going to check if our bullet direction that we just made is 1, which will be the first bullet shot. We'll have it go to weapon, point towards mouse pointer, and then we will have it turn in this direction. We'll have it turn left, maybe 20 degrees. And then it'll do that same thing. Here we go. So let me go over what we just set up here. So basically, when the bullet is shot, after this timing is done, when it starts itself as a clone, which is, will do it 5 times for every single shot that the shotgun does, okay? So it does it 5 times. So since on the first time, it goes from 0 to 1 on the first clone, it'll check if it's a shotgun, which it will be. And then if it's direction 1, which it will be on the first clone, it'll go 20 degrees. On the second clone, because it changes itself again, because it has to do these 2 things 5 times, it'll stay towards the middle, go all the way to the right, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And basically, what that ends up looking like, our current weapon to shotgun. Bam. Okay, here's our shotgun. This is going to look a bit weird just because it's coming out of the player, but you can fumble around with how the art works and looks. And if you do a little click, there we go. Look at that. Shoots like a spray of bullets. And again, it's not coming out of the gun. Like, it doesn't look normal. You obviously can mess around with where it comes out of and how it looks and how it works. So don't even worry about that. Alright, if we're going to set up the bouncer, what we're going to do is we'll do this 0.4, because I want to shoot every 0.8 seconds for 0.4, 0.4, plus those together, you get a 0.8. So we'll come down here, and we will take this just as an example and smack it down there. Make sure this is current weapon. If your current weapon equals lobber. I'm calling this a lobber because this is literally the exact same stuff I did for my new game, where I call it the lobber. But this one, what do we call it? We call it the bouncer. So we're going to make this little variable called bounces left for the spread only. Very, very important to make this bounces left. Make it for the spread only. You don't have to call it bounces left. You can literally call it whatever you want. But here we are. So basically, what we're going to want to do is we are going to, inside of here, we are going to set bounces left to however many times you want the ball to be able to bounce. I want it to do 3 times. You could do 5, 6, 100,000, 300 million. You could literally do as many as you want or as little as you want, right? We're going to make another variable called bounce direction. Make it for the sprite only. Perfect, perfect. And we are going to set bounce direction to pick random 1 through 2. 2 options. Now it's going to show, it's going to do all this thing, all of these things. We're going to take that out actually though. We don't want it to be switching a direction. So set bounces to 3, bounce direction to 1 and 2, go to weapons, all that stuff, and then show. What we're going to want to do is take this out for the time being. We're going to come down to control and grab a repeat until again, and we're going to repeat until, grab an equals, take your bounces left, smack them in that side, and put 0 in that side. We're going to do this until you are out of bounces, right? You are going to repeat until touching the wall or the edge, move 10 steps. Once it's done, you're going to go ahead and change bounces left by -1. Pretty easy, right? So when it hits the wall, it moves one of your bounces down. And then what we do is we will check if equals, we'll put a 1 on this side, and we'll do bounce direction on this side, which, because again, it sets it out of the loop. Make sure you're setting bounce direction outside of this repeat until loop. So if it equals 1, what we will do is grab a maybe right direction. Oh, hello, did I not grab it? I didn't. Okay, like this. And then we'll come to operators, grab a pick random. So it'll turn left, maybe -140.0 to -220.0 degrees. That's what it'll do. It'll pick a random direction just like that. Then we'll have it, since its bullet direction is 1, we'll set bullet direction to 2. Fairly simple, right? And then if it's not, you're going to take this. Else, if bolt direction equals 2, make sure this is facing the other direction. Oh, I meant other direction, same amount, setting it to 1. And then after this loop is finished, we will just delete the clone. I went small brain. I see what it did. I see what it did. So, we're going to do this. Bam. Okay, there we go. So, you know what? Put the move 10 steps inside of this. So, forget all this right now. We don't need that right now. So, repeat until bounces equals 0. We'll move 10 steps. Then, we are going to run an if statement by putting an if. And we're going to do if it's touching the edge or the color, grab our this and put that in here. So we are going to check the bolt direction, and in here is where we will put our change bounces. So the first one, put it in there, and put it in there. Finally, we're going to take this delete clone and take it out for the time being. I'm going to grab this code from our shotgun and just take out the turn. We're going to bring this down with us. And then directly after this 0 is ran, we will, I think it's right here, yep, put that in. So it'll keep going one more time, and then once it hits the wall, it will delete clone. That should work. I am very sorry for that quick confusion there. Sorry to my editor who has to edit that up. I'm very sorry, Coj. I think that's how you pronounce it. Here we go. We go ahead and click. Did I not set up the right color? Is it not in the right color? Ah, no. I get it. I just did it bad. Okay. God, I feel stupid. Okay, grab that. Repeat until with the move steps. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and duplicate it. Smack it right in the bottom of both of these. Right there. Boy, I feel dumb. I feel really, really dumb. Yeah, that should be right. Oh, wait. Don't have it do that. Don't have it... Oh, yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just that. Whew. That would have been bad. And we're going to also, just as a precaution, have it move 5 steps just so it doesn't get stuck. There we go. That should have it work now. Guys, I'm sure some of you saw it. And I get the feeling that editor's going to make fun of me for not for not realizing this. See this? It says bullet direction. This needs to be bounce direction. I feel so stupid. That'd probably do it. Yeah, that did it. Okay, you might realize, Deku, that didn't work at all. I just shot it at a weird angle. There you go. It bounces. God, I feel so dumb for not noticing that. Coach, please don't make fun of me. Please don't make fun of me. Oh, he's gonna make fun of me, guys. I mean, I kind of deserve it for not realizing that. Oh, there you go. You have one that bounces. God, I just feel so dumb. Yeah, when you're working with weird sloped angles like that, there is a chance it can get stuck. But if you're just doing like flat off surfaces, you should be just fine. I say that and then that happens, but... And this next one is an AK-47, okay. That's pretty easy. I'm just going to copy this, well, no. Nah, yeah, this will work. Okay, copy this bouncer stuff. And I'm going to call it AK-47. We're going to have this a really short time. Maybe every 0.1 second. So that'd be 0.05 and 0.05. 0.05. 0.05 plus 0.05 is 0.1. Set this to AK-47. And now all we're going to have it do for some spray, we're going to have it maybe turn a direction. And since it's a direction, you can do negative and it'll still go left. Like, even though it's pointing right, if you set this to like a negative number, it'll then go left. So, we'll do maybe from -10 to 10. Maybe that'll be good. So set current weapon to AK-47. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. Has like this little spray that it randomly decides. It's a little bit of some spray, so it doesn't go perfectly straight. It kind of shears off in directions. It's super unpredictable. You never know where it's going to shoot. Look at that. You got one that sprays now. Can't keep a straight target. Awesome. And again, you could even merge that with the bouncer. You could merge that little thing with the bouncer, and it'd work just fine. Now time for the big boy. Now it's time for the big boy. That big boy being Chakram. Okay? Here's how we're going to set up Chakram. We want Chakram to spray 8 bullets in every single direction. That's what I'm going to have this one do. So we're going to duplicate it here, and we're going to obviously make it check for Chakram. Now, my Chakram, I'm going to have it go 0.13 seconds. So that'd be a 0.8 and a 0.5. I think that's 13 seconds. I'm fairly certain. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a variable. And for those of you who've been around my channel a lot, you know exactly what variable I'm going to put. I'm going to put change. And we are going to set change to 0 right before it creates the clone. Grab a repeat. I'm going to create the clone. Put that weight underneath. We're going to do this 8 times because we want 8 bullets. And right here, we will change by 1. We are going to make a, what am I looking for, the word? Variable. We're going to make another variable called Chakram shot for all sprites. And we are going to set Chakram shot to 0. Okay, there it is. That's part set up. Now we get into the big boys. Okay, get ready because it's about to get crazy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that down there. It's gonna detect for a Chakram. What we're gonna want to do right off the bat is take this stuff out and grab ourselves another if else and put it right in there. And what we are going to check is if change is equal to 1. Now, if change is equal to 1, what we're gonna have set up, right? The reason Chakram shot is a thing is because if we let them all shoot in order, it wouldn't be all at the same time. So just trust me on this. You're gonna see what it looks like. Grab a wait until. We can duplicate this little if and change this change to a Chakram shot. So if Chakram shot equals 1, you're gonna wait until. And then after that, we're gonna put that in. Boom, just like this. The only difference being is instead of point towards the mouse pointer, we're going to get rid of that. And instead we're going to add point in direction. And if you want to know which direction is up, you can always click this and this little wheel will show up. And we'll start with up, and then we're going to do 30, or 35, I meant 45. Then we're going to do 90, 135, 180, 135. We're going to do that. So it starts with direction 0. And then it does this stuff. And then everything works perfect fine. All good stuff. So what I'm also going to have it do as just a keepsake. Well, no, we don't need to do that. That'll be fine. This, just like this. Okay. Then we're going to take this change and put it in this else. And this is going to be if change equals 2. Same stuff here. Just the only difference is this is going to be -45 as the direction. On our 8th, right, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this wait until, because this is when we're going to set up Chakram shot. So we are going to set Chakram shot to 1 to be able to release all the other bullets, and then it's just gonna do its thing. Only thing we're gonna have it do is we're gonna have it wait a 0.1 second, so the bullets have time to do their things. There, just like that. Now, that should, in theory, work just fine. Chakram. Here we go. Let's take a look. Just because we already have it set at 1, it's probably gonna shoot one normally first. There we go. Look at that. It shoots bullets in all directions. Again, this is directly from my game. I mean, I'm sure this has been done before in other games, but I got this idea from my game because the Chakram is one of my weapons that you can find in the new game. that I'm not going to announce, but I've been leaving hints in some of my places. I'm sure you can find it. But yeah, there are 5 weapon ideas for you to implement into your game. Feel free to use them, obviously. I prefer if you use this Chakram, at least this Chakram one. If you end up using it, just credit me. You know, if you don't want to, that's fine, I guess. It'd just be kind of like a thing, a nice thing to do. I mean, again, I'm sure this is not the first time this has happened, but you know how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it anyways, because I hope to see some cool ideas. I hope to see people expand off of these 5 ideas. While you're at it, I want to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. That would help me out a lot. Thank you to our editor. Join us, link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Deku, that's not spiky at all. It's not spiky at all. You're bad, Deku. You're bad. You're terrible at everything, Deku. Here. Bam, you happy?